Poca, West Virginia, where the Dots getting set to take on the Chapmanville Tigers. Chris Kidd here with you, alongside me, Butch Mounts, as these two teams going through player introductions, or excuse me, going through the pregame introductions right now, as they are getting close to tip-off here between the Tigers and the Dots. Well, while that's taking place, we'll step aside for a break here in just a moment, as the pregame festivities underway and you hear the announcements of the Chapmanville Tigers on one side, you also hear them on the other end. And now we're going to step aside for a break and be back after this, as you are listening to and watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Hey, how's it going?
It's war on the roads. Bumps, scrapes, and ouch, wrecks.
That's gotta hurt.
What about car insurance?
Lots of promises and very little payout.
The insurance company just wants to save money. You should get paid when you're injured.
Including your pain and suffering.
And we win for you, or you pay us nothing.
What do you think, gang? Yeah!
Call Farmer Klein and Campbell.
Because around here,
you matter.
Farmer Klein and Campbell is the way to go. Call 346-5990.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, Surgical Podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Welcome back, everybody, here live on Video Productions. Chris Kidd here with you, alongside me, Butch Mounts, as we are getting close to tip-off between the 9-1 Poca Dots and the 9-2 Chapmanville Tigers coming in here this evening. And again, looking at Poca on the year, they've had big wins already against Nitro at 59-37 and 59-33 as they swept the season series. Then they defeat Hurricanes 63-49. Big win over a very good Charleston Catholic club, 63-53. Beating Mingo Central 57-49, and also knocking off Lincoln County most recently, who's been a top team in Class AA as well, beating them 63-41 on Tuesday night. As we mentioned, Chapmanville have won 9 straight games since their opening loss of the season, but then that loss to Logan the other night stymied the momentum for the Tigers momentarily, and quick turnaround for them coming in here this evening into a hostile environment against the Poca Dot team, trying to prove that they belong right back at the top of Class AA after a down year last year. Again, Poca just a season ago had their struggles, or a couple seasons ago, had their struggles, but turned it around last year, going 19-7 and upset Logan 61-55 in the regional final before losing in the state quarters to Bluefield. Well, now we're getting set for the player introduction, so let's listen in here to the pregame festivities and the player introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold all applause until the end if you don't mind. This season, Ethan ran for a total of 2,545 yards, a total of 52 touchdowns, and broke Kirk Warner's record from Pineville, West Virginia, that was set back in 1978 by scoring 276 points during the regular season. He also won the Kurt Warner Award this season. Kurt Warner played at Penn State University, where he's a two-time All-American. He was also inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2009. Kurt Warner was also a first-round draft pick in the NFL in 1983 by the Seattle Seahawks. Ethan is also the first student athlete in Poca High School history and only the second student athlete in Putnam County Schools history to win the Kennedy Award, which is the West Virginia High School Football Player of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Poca High School junior running back,
for Ethan Payne and a standing ovation here from the Poca crowd. I mean, the numbers just staggering what he put up in football season. 2,545 yards, 52 touchdowns, 276 points, and the Kennedy Award winner. So a great ovation for him as we listen into the starting lineups. Chapmanville Tigers introduced and getting ready for tonight's clash with Poca, and now it's the Dots' turn to be introduced. Let's listen in.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce your home team, the Dots of Poca! A 6-foot senior wearing number 32, Preston A 6'4" senior wearing number 50, Dave Penn. And 6'2" junior wearing number 22, Ethan Payne. And 6'3" junior wearing number 55, Noah Riddler. And a 6'3" sophomore wearing number 10, Isaac McNeely.
Those are your starting lineups on both sides coming in here tonight. And again, this Chapmanville club, they have looked steely-eyed and focused since they walked into the gymnasium here this evening. After the loss to Logan on Tuesday, Philip Mullins went back to the gymnasium and began shooting shots the rest of the evening, even though he had 36 points in that game against Logan. And then come to find out that Chapmanville had a very elongated practice on Wednesday to try and fix some of the things they felt were wrong with their game on Tuesday. And you can see the focus on Obina and Achille Killen's face, the committee to Marshall University, as he gets ready to jump it up with Nate Vance. As we're glad you're with us here tonight on Video Productions, as it's number 3 against number 1, and we're ready to go as Andrew Scholl with the ball out front being guarded by McNeely. They get it left side for Isaiah Smith. Now back into the right corner for Philip Mullins. Mullins kicks it back up top, and we'll see if Poca goes to a similar defense that Logan had early in the game, kind of man up top and then packing the zone. As Scholl, patient in the opening possession. 30 seconds tipped off, still not a shot attempt here by Chapmanville. They get it back to the top of the key. Scholl now looking, gets it to Mullins. Mullins has been deadly from the outside. Now they get it to Obina on the right block, kicks it out. Jumper on the way from the center, and count it for Brody Dalton. And Chapmanville on the board first. And that was something Chapmanville didn't get the other night from their supporting staff. Again, the only 3 players to score against Logan for Chapmanville was Scholl, Obina, and Philip Mullins as the first 2 of the game for Chapmanville. And a 3 from the left wing goes for Isaac McNeely. He had 20 the other night in the win over Lincoln County, and the 6'2" sophomore gives the Dots an early lead. 3-2, 6:48 to go in the opening quarter. As Scholl at the top of the key gives it over left side for Mullins. As Chapmanville directing traffic down low. Scholl gets a screen up top. Now takes over left side. Wing 3, and count it for Andrew Scholl as both teams come out firing away. 3 of 3 from the field combined already. As McNeely crosses the timeline. He gets it over left side. It's Poca now. Their turn to try and navigate this Chapmanville defense. They get it over left wing. Trying to drive in is Noah Rittinger. Now gets it back top of the key for Ethan Payne. Over to McNeely. He'll drive right baseline. Kicks it back out with Obina underneath. Now out to the top of the key as Poca will reset as Preston Barr takes it in on Smith. Now dribbles back out. So he'll swing it over to Rittinger. Then Both these teams settling in early. This Poca team with a lot of underclassmen in their lineup as McNeely takes a step back three, no good, as Mullins on the closeout defense that time. So the first stop of the game for either side, and Chapmanville looking to build on a 5-3 lead. It's Mullins on the left wing, looks down low, finds Obina on the left side. He'll get into the middle, turnaround jumper, gets it to rattle home. Does the 6'9 senior, and he's had some big games this year. Obina had 37 against Miller, Virginia, the former Virginia State champions, then had 32 against Beth Haven, had 19 the other night in the loss to Logan, but Obina has been a first-team All-Stater the last 2 years, and all 3 years of his high school career has been named to the state tournament all-tournament team. Now Barr with it on the left wing, trying to drive in, gets it out to Rittinger. Back over to Barr, tough pass, but nice grab by Rittinger. Over to Nate Vance, dribbles in, puts up the floater and rejected out of bounds by Obina Anachile Killen. And as I said, you can see the focus on his face since he stepped out onto the court tonight. There was no smiling, no show of any emotion by this Chapmanville club. As we're going to find out tonight, is that door ajar for more teams in Class AA than we thought this year, or is Chapmanville going to reassert their dominance as Isaac McNeely, great dribble drive in, can't finish at the rim, however. Now here comes Scholl. Chapmanville leads at 7-3. Over to Mullins, had it almost picked from behind, but Obina there to pick it up. Now back to Mullins at the top of the key. Obina cuts to the rim. They go to Brody Dalton instead. Left swing three, no good. Rebound comes out long, taken by Rittinger. He'll drive in on Scholl, able to get rid of him. Layup up, no good with the left hand. There's a great palming that time by Rittinger, but just couldn't get it to fall. So Obina with the rebound, up ahead to Scholl. Scholl gets into the middle, powers his way inside, puts up a shot, no good, off the left iron. Rebound comes down to Ethan Payne. Now here's McNeely slashing to the basket, cut off by Obina, kicks it out to Barr. Barr drives left baseline, back out to Rittinger, back into the corner. Barr goes for three, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Obina underneath. As he'll bring it up the floor, the big man drives in on the left side, fouled, can't get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. As they're going to get the foul that time on Poca's Toby Payne, who just checked into the lineup. That'll be his first, and the first foul of the game on either side with 4:09 left here in the first quarter. And Obina Anachile Killen, 2 points thus far. And he has been really the best free throw shooter on the team this season as he knocks down the first. As he's had games where he's been 9 of 10, 8 of 9, 7 of 8. He's been very, very consistent from the charity stripe this year for the Chapmanville Tigers. Second free throw good as well, and the Poca fans were giving Obina a little bit of the business on that, and he just turned and gave him the shush sign after he buried both free throws. So 9-3, Chapmanville leads it halfway through the first quarter. Trying to drive in and cut off is Jackson Toney, who's checked in. Now pass intercepted by Obina. Up ahead to him, drives in, slam dunk for the big man as he plows it through with the right hand. And Chapmanville, their fans now on their feet, as you can sense the intensity from this Tiger club in the early going. He's got 6 points, as we'll take a look at it here on our All-State Instant Replay. Again, the quick hands of one of the best defenders in the state of West Virginia, and a great give and go by Mullins for the finish for Anachile Killen, as a 30-second timeout called here by Alan Osborne as he sees his club go down 11-3, as it's a 9-0 run now for Chapmanville since the Dots went up 3-2 early. And this was something that you kind of were curious about, how Chapmanville would come out in this game after that tough loss the other night to their county rivals. And we talked about it on our Tuesday broadcast at Logan, that this may have been one of the toughest things that could have happened to the Poca Dots coming into this game, is that Chapmanville might have been woken up and might have been reevaluating a lot of things that were going on, because this is a Chapmanville club that's gotten out to a lot of slow starts this year, albeit against very good competition. But here tonight, not the case, as they jumped out to an 11-3 lead. And maybe their loss to Logan could have been the best thing that happened to Chapmanville, and maybe the worst thing that could happen to Poca tonight, but we'll still see. As McNeely being hounded, double-teamed on the right side, tries to fit it in, able to do so. Great job by Payne, able to wrestle it back out as they'll reset the offense with 3:25 to go in the first. McNeely gets it over to Rittinger. Rittinger has nowhere to go, gets it back over to McNeely on the right wing. Being guarded by freshman Isaiah Smith. Nice fake by McNeely. Goes up with a shot. No good off the side of the iron. Long rebound into the corner as Barr fighting with it with Brody Dalton. And it'll be last touch by Dalton. Now get another substitution as Nate Vance will check back in. Transfer from Winfield High School. And again, this Poca team has 2 juniors, 2 seniors in the starting lineup, along with McNeely, the sophomore. Chapmanville starting 3 seniors and 2 freshmen, and Isaiah Smith and Brody Dalton here this evening. So we're down to 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Now we get a whistle away from the ball, and it's going to be an offensive foul against the Poca Dots, as they're going to get this on Nate Vance. That'll be his first. Chapmanville will bring it across the timeline on a 9-0 run already. And Obina and Achille Killam with 6 points, including that thunderous dunk earlier. As Obina with it on the right side, being guarded very tightly by Tony. Back out to Mullins. He'll take his first shot of the game, and Philip Mullins able to connect from the top of the key. And now we get a whistle after the play, and apparently some jostling after the fact as the official's talking with Nate Vance. But Mullins, as we said, was electric the other night with 36 points in that loss to Logan. He also had 22 against Willing Park and 20 against Bluefield. So Mullins has been really, really good on the offensive end this year for the Chapmanville Tigers. Been more assertive in taking his shots, and it's been paying off for him. As it's 14-3 now, Chapmanville, a 12-0 run, and now another offensive foul against the Poca Dots. And this one going to go against Toby Payne. That's going to be number 2 on the 6'3 sophomore. As we take a look at it here on our All-State Instant Replay, and there it is. You can see the moving screen out top. And the Tigers get it back with an 11-point lead with 2:20 to go in the first quarter. Killen going to work, steps back. Good defense that time by Payne, as Scholl will reset the offense out near midcourt. Down to 2:10 left in the first quarter. Mullins, left wing, thought about rising up, instead gives it back out top for Scholl, over to Dalton. Dalton goes down to the right baseline for Obina. As you hear the Poca cheering section trying to urge on their defense right now, as they can sense that already the game possibly getting away from them if they don't get a few stops. Isaiah Smith, corner 3, and he connects. The Chapmanville Tigers are white hot from the outside right now. Their third three-pointer of the quarter, and they lead at 17-3. It's a 15-0 run for the 2-time defending state champs. 1:34 to go here in the first quarter. Poca needs to find some offense and find it in a hurry here as they get it over left side. Rittinger trying to find an opening, gets it to Payne. Payne drives in hard on the right side, and he's rejected by Killen. The second block of the game for Obina and Achille Killen. And again, the business-like approach he's taking tonight. After he blocked it, he grabbed the ball, put it right back down on the baseline, ready to go back to action. As we're down to 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. They inbound it deep for McNeely, over to Rittinger. Now left corner. Dots having a difficult time trying to find some penetration right now, but McNeely able to do so, gets inside, gets it to roll around, but falls off. Rebounded by Vance, hits it off the side of the rim, gets his own rebound back, tough fadeaway, misses it over the rim. And now Mullins down with it on the other side. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Goes to Obina down the left block, spin move into the shitter, rejected underneath by Ethan Payne. As the running back All-Stater able to get the rejection on Killen. Up ahead to McNeely, and he'll hit a 3 from the left wing. A much-needed bucket for the Dots. Ends a 15-0 Chapmanville run. Final 40 seconds of the first quarter. Chapmanville leading at 17-6. As Scholl stepping back here, able to get rid of the 5-second count. Down to 27 seconds. We'll see if the Tigers hold for one here. As you see Brad Napper. Napper with a 102-win, 19-loss record at Chapmanville since being at the Tigers. Been to 5 straight state tournaments, 1 with Mingo Central, 4 with the Tigers. Looking to lead them back again this year as we're down to 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Scholl over left side, kicks it up top for Dalton. Now over to Mullins, into the corner. Killen, 3 at the horn, no good, and that will end the first quarter of play that saw Chapmanville explode for 17 and take an 11-point lead into quarter number 2. We'll be back after this as you are watching high school basketball action with us, presented by Video Productions.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center. Always here for you.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Welcome back, everybody. Start of quarter number 2 here from Poca, West Virginia. Chris Kidd here with you, with Butch Mounts, our engineer, as the Dots trailing the Tigers 17-6. They had the ball to start the second quarter, but a quick turnover gives it back over to Chapmanville. It's the Tigers, ranked number 1 in the state in AA at 9-2. Poca coming in at 9-1, ranked number 3. The Dots winners of 8 in a row. Their only loss to AAA returning state champion University earlier this year, and now a moving string called on the Tigers. They may have gotten Scholl here, let's see. Like I said, it's so loud here in this gymnasium, it's hard to hear. They're actually going to get Hunter Jeffrey on the moving screen, as you see it there, number 50 coming through for Chapmanville. So there is the first foul against Chapmanville for the game, 3 against Poca. And again, coming here tonight, again, been sold out since the beginning. It is a jam-packed Poca gymnasium as Rittinger straight on 3, and he hits from the top of the key. And now Poca easing back into the ball game now with back-to-back threes as they've cut a 14-point deficit down to 8. They get it over left side for Preston Smith, who's checked in. Out to Mullins, takes on a 3, no good. Obina taps the rebound to himself, goes up, can't finish on the left side, and rebounded underneath, taken away by the Dots. There's a good rebound by Jackson Toney. Up ahead, left corner, McNeely, 3, count it, from the left corner, and Isaac McNeely with 3 3-pointers and 4 3-pointers in all for the Dots. A 9-0 run now for Poca as it's 17-12 in favor of the Tigers. They get it to Mullins on the right wing. Mullins, top of the key for Obina. Back over to Scholl. The Wingate committee goes up with a jumper and count it for Andrew Scholl as a tough shot on the good defense by McNeely that time. But Andrew Scholl, as we said, committed to Wingate just this past week. Gets his 5th point of the game and ends a 9-0 Poca run. Rittinger at the top of the key. Obina looking to see if the screen's coming. They get it over to McNeely as a man falls down. Mullins gets back up, back out to Rittinger. Straight on 3 again, and he's able to hit. The Dots now the ones that have gone unconscious from outside after Chapmanville was red hot in the first. 4 straight threes for Poca has closed a 14-point deficit down to 4. Mullins into the center. Scholl turnaround jumper, no good off the back iron, rebounded by Rittinger. Numbers for Poca as Rittinger steps in, pulls up for 3 and gets it to go. Actually, they say he had a foot on the line. It'll be a 2 for Noah Rittinger, and that's going to lead to a timeout by Chapmanville now as this Poca crowd erupts after they see their team fight back from a 17-3 deficit. And we could be in for a tussle here tonight, folks, as the Tigers leading the Dots by 2 with 5:44 left here in the first half. As we said coming in, this was going to be interesting to see how Chapmanville responded, but right now, Poca's just been lights out from the outside when they needed to, and Alan Osborne's club has fought back like the champions they hope to be this year. As we take a look here at our instant replay presented by Allstate, as you see Rittinger getting over, and there the defender falling down, setting up the good ball movement out to Rittinger, who's knocked down 2 threes this quarter and 8 points in all to help bring Poca back to within 2. Now ready to go back to action as Brody Dalton will inbound from underneath the Poca basket to bring it up. And these two teams have had a history with each other too. Again, Poca winning the 2015 state championship with a perfect 27-0 record. Chapmanville almost snapped that in the state quarterfinals the following year, falling at the buzzer, 30-28 to Poca in the state quarters in the number 1 versus number 8 matchup. It took a Luke Frampton putback virtually at the buzzer to keep Poca alive. They went on to lose in the state finals that year as Obina misses a straight-on 3 and rebound underneath by Nate Vance. A chance for Poca to tie or retake the lead on this trip. Rittinger across the timeline. Picked up by Scholl at the top of the key. Again, Rittinger, 6'3" junior. Still waiting. Now we'll give back out as Poca spreading the floor here. Is Jackson Toney with the ball. As Toney will dribble in, and now Poca could be going to a version of their 4 corners here. As you see McNeely on the right wing, gets it back out to Rittinger, and it appears that's exactly what Poca is going to try and do right now to see if they can set up an easy shot and try and shorten this game against the Chapmanville Tigers. We saw Chapmanville do exactly this against Poca in the state quarterfinals 4 years ago. Great drive by McNeely, but missing at the rim was Ethan Payne as Poca set that up well, but couldn't finish on the left side. So now can Chapmanville capitalize? Isaiah Smith, who hit a 3 in the first quarter, picks up his dribble, gets it out to midcourt for Scholl. Closing it on the midway point of the second quarter as Scholl gets it over to Smith, back out to top to Obina, now to Mullins. Mullins gets a screen from Smith, gets it over left side. Obina gets a crease on the baseline, goes up and under, and Obina and Achille Killen able to finish on the reverse. He's got 8 points, and the lead back up to 4 for Chapmanville. So let's see if Poca tries to stick with this strategy now that they've climbed back into the game, or if they go back into the regular offense. It appears they will go back regular here. They get it back over to Rittinger. Rittinger gets a screen, gets by Obina, puts up a floater in the paint. No good, but there's Vance on the rebound, rejected, but a foul call instead. As they say, Obina got him on the hand on the way up, so that'll send Nate Vance to the free throw line, and that'll be the first foul on Obina and Achille Killen as we get a look here on our All-State Instant Replay. Again, the rebound there, Obina going up, and again, close call, but Obina evidently catching Vance on the palm as he went up. And a chance here for the big man for Poca to get his first point of the game, but misses on the first. So this is the first free throws of the evening for the Poca Dots. Chapmanville's only shot 2 themselves in what has been a very quick moving first half, and Vance misses on both attempts. So Chapmanville with the ball on a 4-point lead as they look to withstand the onslaught that's been brought on by Poca. Poca withstood Chapmanville's punch in the first quarter. Now Chapmanville trying to withstand Poca's. Out to Smith, goes for 3, no good online, but too long. Rebound fought for in the corner, and last touched out of bounds by Poca, as Jackson Toney appears to be the one that knocked it out of bounds. So it stays with Chapmanville with 3:18 to go here in the first half, leading it 21-17. Now it looks like Obina needed to get his jersey tucked back in. Scholl will inbound from underneath his own basket. Gets it into Obina in the left corner, out to Mullins. Back into the corner, Scholl gets a good look at 3 off the front iron. Rebound comes down underneath to Toney. Now to Rittinger as Poca brings it back up, trailing by 4. Rittinger almost had a chance to step into another 3, instead gives it over to Toney. Spins back in, dumps it off the Vance on the baseline. Contact and a blocking foul called on Philip Mullins. So let's see if they call this on the shot or not. It doesn't appear that Vance got a shot off. So Poca will inbound underneath their own basket as you see Toney. The great spin move there to get away from Dalton, and then Obina going after the steal, opened up the baseline for Vance, and then Mullins just a little bit late getting underneath to try and draw the charge. Rittinger gets it into McNeely. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Chapmanville leading Poca 21-17 in this matchup between 1 versus 3. Rittinger had the hot hand here in the second quarter with 8 points. Gives it over to Toney. Toney back to Rittinger. Rittinger, tough pass, tried to force it in between Obina and Scholl and knocked away by Chapmanville and out of bounds. So Rittinger will inbound from in front of the Chapmanville bench. So get it into McNeely as he'll back out in front of the Chapmanville bench. Drives inside, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound skied for and taken away by Achille Killen. They'll get it up ahead to Mullins on the right side. Mullins gets a screen from Dalton, but Vance comes out to check him. Now out to Obina. He'll drive in right side, goes up and under and draws the foul on the way up. And there Chile Killing showing his athleticism once again, and a big foul there as he draws number 2 on Nate Vance. As we take a look at it here in our video productions instant replay again, great move there. And right there you saw Vance coming over, and Killing just a great up and under move to try and avoid that and get to the basket as the first free throw rims in and out on him. And these rims over the years here at Poca are definitely wound tighter than what you see in most gyms across the state of West Virginia as he hits the second free throw. And Killen now with 9 points here in the contest. 22-17 Chapmanville. 2:20 to go here in the second quarter. Tony tries to drive in, cut off, back out to Rittinger. Poca continues to try and run down the clock and look for a good shot. They find Vance underneath, and Vance able to cut in. As a nice job that time by Poca, collapsing the defense and getting a good look for Vance on the left side. 22-19 Chapmanville, out front to Killen. Now over to Scholl, 1:48 left in the half. Dalton drives in, had Killen for a moment, but a good defensive play by Ethan Payne, and I like that too from Chile Killen. He came out to Brody Dalton and tells him that was the right idea, that was a good pass. It was just a really good defensive play by Ethan Payne. As they inbound to Obina, he'll drive into the center, gets a good look with a hook, and gets it to fall with a friendly bounce off the front of the iron. Killen now into double figures with 11 points, and it's 24-19 Chapmanville. 1:33 left here in the first half. That's Rittinger on the right side. Guarded by Scholl, as Scholl trying to force him down, and now instead Rittinger will bring it back out top of the key. McNeely got free off a screen, and he hits from the right side. McNeely has 4 3-pointers here in the first half, and Poca has once again closed the Chapmanville lead down to 2. Closing in on a minute to go here in the first half as Scholl gets it over to Obina. Out top, picks up his dribble over to Mullins. Mullins gets a screen, drives inside, rolls it off the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Tony. Poca again, a chance to tie or take the lead as Rittinger tries to get inside, cut off by Smith, and looks like he may have gotten away with a push off that time. Kicks it into the corner for Tony, nobody there, however, and it looks like it was last touch though by Chapmanville as the pass was deflected with 46.8 seconds to go in the first half. We'll see how long Poca tries to hold here if they try and run out the half and take the final shot. They trailed it by as much as 14 here in the first 16 minutes, but with a 3-point barrage in the second quarter, have closed the gap down to 2. So there's been 6 threes in all here in the first half for the Polka Dots, and it appears they're going to try and hold for one. As McNeely has it under his left arm, just waiting. Mullins and Chapmanville lagging off here, going to allow Poca to run this clock down. We'll see how long before Chapmanville elects to go out and contest. Coach Napper says to back off, so Poca, unless they turn it over here, going to get the final look of the second quarter as we're down to 10 seconds. Rittinger dribbles up top against Scholl. Now in the 5 seconds, they get it to McNeely. Good defense by Mullins. McNeely drives baseline, dumps it off to Payne. Floater at the horn, no good. And that will end the first half of play as the Chapmanville Tigers took a 17-3 lead and a quick start for them, but Poca at number 3 in the state battles back and cuts the lead down to 2 here at intermission. Well, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll break down all of the first half action here from Poca High School as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, Quality legal services close to home.
For your next vehicle, shop Thornhill Mitsubishi. Value, confidence, fast and easy credit acceptance, and total support with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty on every new Mitsubishi. No matter what lies on the road ahead, Thornhill is here for you.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
In the market for a newer pre-owned vehicle, Thornhill Auto Group is here for you. Shop any of our 4 locations, open 7 days a week, and home of the Thornhill 10120. Don't overpay, let Thornhill save you more on your next purchase. Go Thornhill and enjoy the easy drive to savings.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you as we are at the half from Poca, West Virginia, where the Tigers lead the Dots by a pair as the Polka Dot dance squad out on the floor right now performing at halftime. And it was a tale of 2 quarters here from Poca High School. It looked like Chapmanville may run Poca out of their own gym in the first few minutes of this game, building up a 17-3 lead as Chapmanville able to hit 3 3-pointers in that opening quarter as they were scorching hot. And then Poca came back out in the second quarter and did virtually the same thing to the Tigers as they hit 4 of their 6 3-pointers in the second quarter to quickly climb back into the contest. And Chapmanville, though, able to keep them at arm's length with a late surge by Killen, who had 6 points in the first quarter and 5 points in the second quarter to help give Chapmanville this 2-point edge as you roll through the first half scoring on both sides. Leading the scoring on both sides here tonight is Isaac McNeely. He has 12 points, all 12 of those coming on 3-pointers as the sophomore has knocked down 4 in all. Then you had Noah Rittinger with 8 points as he hit a pair of threes of his own in the second quarter. Then you had Nate Vance with 2 points to round out the scoring for the Dots. On the other end, leading the Chapmanville Tigers was Obina Anachile Killam with 11 points, followed by Andrew Scholl with 5 points. Then you had Isaiah Smith and Philip Mullins with 3 points apiece, both of those 3-pointers. And then Brody Dalton closing out the scoring for Chapmanville with 2 points in all to give the Tigers a 24-22 edge here at the half. Well, again, a lot of the ramifications of this game could be felt across the state of West Virginia at the end of tonight. Again, a lot of people curious as to what would happen after Chapmanville suffered their first loss to a West Virginia team since the 2017 state finals to Fairmont Senior the other night to Logan, losing 72-61 at Willie Acres Arena. Well, if Chapmanville were to lose tonight, then you would see a massive shakeup at the top of AA as Logan was at number 5, feeling like maybe they've laid a claim to moving into that top spot. But then you have Shady Spring, who hasn't lost all year and has beaten very quality opponents along the way, and they are looking to maybe gain that top spot. If Chapmanville wins tonight against the number 3 team on the road, do they maintain that position? And if Poca wins tonight against the number 1 team in the state, do they lay claim to possibly moving in with only 1 loss, and that 1 loss being to the AAA defending state champs? It is a massive minefield to try and navigate through right now on both ends of the spectrum. So there's going to be a lot of turnover possibly if Poca were to win this game. But if Chapmanville wins, then do they stay in that spot or does someone else move in afterwards? It'll be very interesting to see how the polls work out at the end of this week. And right now you look as well on video productions, the Logan Wildcats getting set to take on the Wayne Pioneers in that home clash after that big win the other night against Chapmanville, as James Barker and Nathan Bush will be on the call of that game. So again, you want to toggle back and forth, please do. And we got Robbie Mounds down at Shady Spring right now with that ball game. We've got all sorts of great high school basketball going on here in the state of West Virginia. All of that coming to you here live on video productions here this evening. And again, you look at some of the statistics coming into this game. Chapmanville and Poca almost even on their average points per game and average points they allow in the year. Chapmanville averaging 69 points per game, Poca averaging 65 points per game, and then Chapmanville defensively been superb all year, just giving up 53 points per game, and Poca been part of their MO defense throughout their years with Alan Osborne, giving up just 49 points per game. on the year. And as we talked about, these have been two of the top dogs in AA and in the state of West Virginia basketball-wise for quite some time. Poca has had winning seasons 12 of their last 13 years. The only one they didn't was in 2018. And this is a Poca team that went to the state semifinals or better from 2014 to 2016 and have been to the state tournament 4 of the last 6 years. And then with Chapmanville, we're talking about a program that's had 10 straight winning seasons now, had 4 straight state tournament appearances, 3 straight state finals appearances, and 2 straight state titles to go along with that. So these are 2 programs that have been right at the top, and this has been a superb matchup thus far here this evening on Video Productions as we are closing in on the start of the second half here in just a couple of moments, where we're going to step aside for a 2-minute break and be back after this as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center. Always here for you.
Shop Thornhill Ford Lincoln on 119 in Chapmanville, your full-service Ford Lincoln dealer. Go with Thornhill and expect the best in total value, service, and pricing on your next vehicle. Home of the Thornhill 10120, you'll get total support with Thornhill Ford Lincoln.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
At Farmer Climate Campbell, we pride ourselves on providing classic service. You get a firm that's concerned about you, your family, as well as the legal process.
We combine the newest technology and digital tools
with our 35 years of experience to help you get more than the insurance company wants to offer.
Traditional service,
contemporary techniques. It'll never go out of style.
Call 346-5990.
Steve, is that your car?
No, it's a rental.
Thornhill GM Superstore is your full-service Buick, Chevy, and GMC dealer. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, service, and pricing on your next ride. Home of the Thornhill 10120, you'll get total support with Thornhill GM.
Closing in on the start of quarter number 3 here from Poca, West Virginia. Chris Kidd here with you. Butch Mounts, our engineer for tonight's broadcast, as the number 1 Chapmanville Tigers leading the number 3 Polka Dots 24-22 as we get ready to start the second half here from Poca High School. And again, Chapmanville trying to bounce back after their first loss to a West Virginia team Tuesday night to the Logan Wildcats. Poca trying to keep their 8-game winning streak alive on the season. And again, Chapmanville this year, they've also beaten 3 prep school clubs along the way. They have had an outstanding and very difficult schedule at the Chapmanville Tigers, and they've stood up to every challenge thus far on this year. And Poca, as we said, they've played a very difficult in-state schedule throughout the middle part of this year, and we've still got about a half a season to go. But right now, boy, are we shaping up for maybe one of the most deep and difficult AA state tournaments we've seen in quite some time. The way that a lot of these teams are matching up with each other right now, as it was a tale of 2 quarters in the first half. It was Chapmanville's in the first, leading at 17-6 after the first quarter, leading by as much as 17-3. And then after that, Poca outpointing Chapmanville 16-7 in the second quarter to bring this to a 2-point game. As we start quarter number 3, Chapmanville with the ball to get things going as Philip Mullins on the right wing gets it up top to Obina. Grab steps, drive in on Ethan Payne, puts it up, counted, and the foul for Obina and Achille Killen. As again, you see the intensity on his face here this evening as he went to work on Ethan Payne and was able to draw the foul. And even with the big paws of Ethan Payne all over him, he was able to put it in as the free throw falls off, rebounded underneath by Poca. As Rittinger will bring it up, the lefty. 4-point lead for Chapmanville as Obina with 13 points for the game now. They get it over to McNeely right in front of us. He'll dribble out the top of the key over to Rittinger. Trying to get a screen, steps back, but Obina there. Gives it over to Payne. He'll drive in on Dalton. Payne gets to the other side, but he's pinned to the glass by Obina. Back out to Rittinger. Gets a clean look. No good. Top of the key. Vance and Obina fighting for the loose ball. And we're going to get a foul on Vance, and that's going to be number 3 on Nathan Vance, as Obina going after the board and was able to get Vance knotted up with him. And now what do you do if you're Alan Osborne? We get a look at our All-State instant replay there. The terrific block by Killen. The good look from Rittinger, and then there's the loose ball. And you see there just that jerk at the end from Vance is likely what got him the foul called. And they are going to have to put Nate Vance, their big man and 6'4" senior, on the bench for the time being. As Obina on the right wing. Drives in on the baseline, now spins to the center, puts up the shot, no good, gets his own rebound back. Looked like it was tipped away from him at the last second, and now here comes Poca back the other way. So now out front, McNeely. And we'll see if Chapmanville looks to try and do more of that here now with Vance on the bench with those 3 fouls. It's Tony, dribbles in, now back out to McNeely. Nice pass down low, driving in, and a foul on Chapmanville. I think that'll be on Brody Dalton. And it will be on Brody Dalton. That'll be his first. And you can see Toby Payne on that play right in front of us, the 6'3" sophomore. He looked out of the corner of his eye to see if Obina was coming in out of nowhere to maybe block his shot, and that's the fear that Obina puts into you as an offensive player. On that low side, he comes swooping in from anywhere as he's out guarding the perimeter, and then all of a sudden he's there blocking your shot as Payne misses both free throws. He had 10 points, did Payne, in the win over Lincoln County the other night, but an empty trip that time for Poca as they are now 0 for 4 from the free throw line here tonight. Mullins gets it out top of the key for Isaiah Smith. His pass deflected, knocked away by Tony, and this might have been last touch by Smith, and it was. Good defensive play by Jackson Tony there to get out and pressure the freshman, and ended up forcing the turnover as the 6'2" sophomore will give the ball back over to the Dots, trailing 26-22 with 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. Rittinger trying to clear out the area, gets it over near side for McNeely, guarded by Mullins. McNeely gets to the free throw line, back up top. Payne gives it off, now give and go to Toby Payne, goes in, tries to fake Obina, but not anything doing as the senior swats it away again. They go down low now to Obina on the right side. Obina out to Scholl. Scholl to Dalton at the top of the key as we go under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Scholl gets switched on to by Ethan Payne. Now Scholl gets it over to Obina on the right wing, back out to Scholl. He head fakes. Now dribbles into the center, kicks it out. Isaiah Smith, good look from the left wing, no good. Rebounded though by Brody Dalton on the left side, and he'll kick it back out for Scholl. And Brody Dalton in football season was an electric freshman at wide receiver for the Tigers this year, and he stepped into this starting role as a freshman on the basketball squad as Scholl puts up a tough shot, no good, but there's Dalton again on the rebound, and it looks like he draws a foul on the low side as Scholl gets up. And the foul is going to go against Toby Payne, and that's going to be number 3 on him. So you've got Vance with 3 and Payne with 3. Nobody else with a foul other than Ethan Payne for Poca. So the fouls have been right there with Toby Payne and Nate Vance all night long. It's Mullins in the left corner. Gets it up top to Obina. Chapmanville only 2 points scored this quarter, and it was on Obina's shot to start the quarter. As both defenses, we said, 2 of the best in the state. Obina, 3 straight on, counted, in the foul for Obina and Achille Killen as he steps over top of Toby Payne after the fact as well. And this Poca crowd, he is playing right to them right now as they've been on him since the start of this game. And Obina and Achille Killen having a terrific evening here tonight as you see the big man on the step out 3, and you could see Toby Payne barreled into him. An easy call for the officials, and that's the 4th on Toby Payne. A full on timeout, we'll take it as well as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions. We are back here in Poca, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you as the Chapmanville Tigers have repositioned their lead up to 7 now after it was down to 2 at the half. And Obina Anachile Killen has been the catalyst. He scored all 5 Tiger points here in the third quarter, and he's got a chance for a 4-point play as we take a look at our All-State Instant Replay again. Right there, it looked like Toby Payne was trying to box him out after he hit that 3, but Toby Payne's momentum just carried him right in to Killen, who buried that jumper, and he has worked so hard on his outside game, and he's proven he can step back and hit that deep 3 as his free throw up off the front iron, no good, and rebounded underneath by Poca. They trail it by 7, and free throws the other night were something that really hurt Chapmanville. They were just 16 of 30 in that loss to Logan. As Poca is yet to hit one tonight, they're 0 for 4 on the evening. Now up top, Tony trying to clear out Isaiah Smith. They give it over to McNeely. He'll drive right baseline, and a reach-in foul will go against Chapmanville. It looks like Brody Dalton committed the foul, and you could see the senior leadership by Philip Mullins as well after that play, looking at Dalton to say, just put your hands straight up, don't try and reach in, and we'll see what Dalton did here. And yeah, right there you see it with the right hand. He tried to reach in and sneak that ball out, but ended up picking up his second foul. Isaiah McNeely, or Isaac McNeely, excuse me, missing on the baseline jumper. Got a good look, but 2 defenders near him. And thus far, Poca has been held scoreless here in the third quarter as we're down to 4:32 left in the third. Chapmanville leads it by 7 as Scholl gets the top of the key from Mullins. Mullins tells Scholl to clear out. Now over to Dalton, now to Obina. And Obina with 16 points here in this game. Drives to the free throw line. Step back jumper, in and out, no good. But there's Mullins on the offensive boards for Chapmanville. So he'll pull it back out, give it to Scholl. Now Scholl will call out a new offensive play as he gets it over left side for Smith. Smith fakes to Obina, now gives it to Obina. The big man will dribble over to his right for Smith. Smith now back out to Dalton as Chapmanville staying patient with this 7-point lead at the moment. Just as Poca did near the end of the first half, as now Obina gets a step on the baseline and almost threw it down, but misses out of bounds as it goes into the Chapmanville bench. And now you hear the big ovation from the Poca crowd after the fact. And Obina didn't just try and dunk that ball, he tried to dunk the defender in the basket with the ball that time. You could see the tenacity. He went after the rim on that trip and just barely missed it. So now Poca, can they capitalize here, trying to get their first points of the second half. Pass somehow able to find a Poca offensive player as Barr had it. Now out to McNeely, down to 3:25 left in the third quarter. Still no points for the Dots. Now Rittinger will step out towards midcourt. He'll give it over left side for Tony. Tony trying to get by Smith, now gets it over to Rittinger right in front of us. He'll drive into the center, puts up a floater with the left hand, off the mark, and there's Obina with another rebound. He's into double-double territory without a doubt now, and on blocks he could be approaching triple-double territory. Now they go back to Obina on the left side, and a great give and go by Andrew Scholl that time as he saw his teammate cutting in, and those two have had telepathy basically all season long on the court. As there's another great assist from Scholl to Obina, and now the lead has swelled to 9 all of a sudden. It's a 7-0 run for Chapmanville here in the third quarter. Poca still looking for their first bucket with 2:40 left in the period. McNeely trapped in the left corner, gets it back out front to Barr as Chapmanville has just been swarming on the defensive end here in the second half. McNeely drives in, tough floater up, rims in and out, and there's Obina again on the rebound. As the state champs looking to push this back to a double-digit lead. Into the left corner for Scholl. Scholl at the top of the key, lobs it inside to Obina. Pass was deflected. Now Obina dumps it off underneath, and Dalton couldn't handle the pass, out of bounds, back over to the Dots. We're down to 2:10 left here in the third quarter. And I don't know if Dalton was expecting the pass from Obina that time. It was a good feed, but Dalton just couldn't handle it. And now the Dots still looking for that first point of the third quarter. They've been held scoreless for the first 6 minutes of it. And Chapmanville is slowly pulled away as Obina has scored all 7 points here in the second half for either team. McNeely up top again. Philip Mullins all over him. Now Tony, he breaks free. He'll go for three off the back iron. Rebounded by Ethan Payne. Gets it out to Rittinger. Drives baseline. Nice bounce pass to Ethan Payne. Goes up. No good. Obina altered the shot again. And now here comes Chapmanville trying to break. Scholl will slow things down on the left wing. He gets free. He'll go for three. No good off the left side. Rebound tipped up by Brody Dalton. And what a save by him. But now stolen away by Rittinger. Rittinger gets into the front court and a blocking foul called on Andrew Scholl with 1:23 left here in the third quarter, as that'll be number one against Andrew Scholl. Poca, even though they've been held scoreless in this quarter, still within striking distance, trailing by 9. Now McNeely gives it over to Tony with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Tony trying to find a crease. Rittinger now drives left baseline. Obina there to cut him off. Now tries to take it away, and a travel called on Rittinger, as Obina did a terrific job that time of getting his hand on the ball when Rittinger got baseline. The Poca cheering section thought it was a foul, but Obina got a hold of the ball and forced Rittinger into that turnover. We're down to 1:05 left here in the third quarter. Could Chapmanville pitch a shutout here in the third quarter on the Dots? Only 7 points for Chapmanville, but it has increased the lead up to 9. As these two top defensive teams in the state have put the clamps down on one another. And now Chapmanville will see if they elect to play catch and run out the third quarter clock, much as Poca did in the second quarter. Now McNeely comes out. They give it back over to Obina. Obina into the middle for Scholl. Chance here for Chapmanville. Scholl turnaround jumper and count for Andrew Scholl. He's got 7 points, and it's a 9-0 Chapmanville run here in the third quarter. 25 seconds left in the third, as Poca desperately needs something to fall to get some momentum going into the fourth quarter. Down to 15 seconds. McNeely will hold for one. Poca will get the ball to start quarter number 4 as well. Down to the final 10. Brad Napper calling out instructions on the bench. McNeely pulls up for three off the front iron. No good. A chance for Chapmanville with 2 seconds. Obina heaves it the other end. Online and just short as it hit the front of the iron and caromed off, as it was a third quarter for Obina and Achille killing in the Tigers as they outpoint Poca 9-0 and take a 33-22 lead into the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Start of quarter number 4 here from Poca High School in Poca, West Virginia. Chris Kidd here with you as we are live on Video Productions, as Isaac McNeely can't get it to go and the long rebound goes out and towards the Poca cheering section and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Dots as Chapmanville leading at 33-22 in this battle of number 1 Chapmanville and number 3 Poca. So there's been a sold-out crowd since the very beginning here this evening, as it's been a raucous atmosphere. But after a tight first half, Chapmanville outscoring Poca 9-0 in the third quarter to take this 11-0 lead. Can the Dots catch fire like they did in the second quarter? Tony gets the three-pointer to roll in, and that's a good start to the fourth for the Dots. That's the first points of the game for Jackson Tony, as well as he had 11 points and 7 rebounds in the win over Lincoln County the other night. Again, the first quarter belonged to Chapmanville, the second belonged to Poca, the third belonged to Chapmanville. Now will it be a fourth quarter for the Dots, as Brad Napper wants to talk it over already here in the fourth as he calls a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep things here with Chapmanville leading it 33-25 with 7:18 remaining in the contest. Well, as we talked about throughout the broadcast, this is going to be a wild scenario at the top of AA basketball going forward. Again, you've had Chapmanville that's been able to beat Bluefield over in the Armory, that's in the top 5 in the state. Then you've got Shady Spring, who's sitting there undefeated at number 2. You've got Logan at number 5 that beat Chapmanville the other night, but has 3 losses. Then you've got this Poca team. Their only losses to the AAA defending state champions, and they've won 8 in a row. I mean, what do you do after all this? And then you've got several teams right below there that are very competitive, very good as well in Class AA. So, as we said, this right now has been a very tough and very competitive top half of the AA draw, and it's going to be very fascinating to see where we go as we head towards February and then into early March to see who will end up in the Charleston Civic Center. It's out of the timeout. Chapmanville with the ball and an 8-point lead with 7 minutes to go now on a running clock. Mullins up top. Looks like Chapmanville trying to stay patient on the offensive end. Back out to Smith, over to Dalton. Both these teams good ball movement clubs, and with Scholl and Mullins on the floor, 2 of the better guards in the state, wouldn't be very difficult to force a lot of turnovers against them if they keep the ball in their hands. Urbina back over to Scholl. Chapmanville's run 45 seconds off the clock on this possession already. Back over for Mullins, down to 6:25. Again, they called the timeout with 7:18 to go in the game, and now Chapmanville has held possession for 1 solid minute. Urbina looking for help, gets it to Scholl as Poca continues to chase here, but it's still an 8-point lead for Chapmanville. Scholl back out to Mullins. Going up against Rittinger, now picks up his dribble, back over to Scholl. Scholl now looks baseline, but cut off, back out to Mullins. He'll dribble in, back out to Urbina. So Chapmanville stays patient here on this possession. 14 fouls against Poca, 3 against Chapmanville as Mullins drives in, kicks it out to Dalton, and now Dalton will back it back out. So Chapmanville has gone into their own version here of a supposed 4 corners, and Mullins got trapped there, and a good play by him, able to throw it off Rittinger and out of bounds. We'll stay with Chapmanville again. Chapmanville hasn't spread it out as Poca did in the first half, but Chapmanville probing the defense with passes to see if they can find a lane and an easy layup possibly here. Scholl on the right wing, goes down to Urbina on the right corner, gets by his man, goes up with the left hand, no good. Rebound tipped loose and saved into the Poca's possession. They get it up ahead now with 5:28 to go. Tony, who hit a 3 to break that drought here in the second half for Poca. That was the first points of the second half for the Dots. They get it left side for McNeely, who had 4 3-pointers in the first half. Gets it baseline, and he'll bank it in. And now that'll be a timeout for Allen Osborne with 5:13 remaining, as it'll be a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay here as Isaac McNeely had 4 3-pointers in the first half. That's his first one from inside the arc, and a much-needed one for the Dots after Chapmanville ran nearly 2 minutes off the clock that time. As we'll take a look at our All-State instant replay as McNeely being hounded out there by Mullins, but then able to get by. And once he got inside, pulled up right in front of Dalton for the easy banker. And now Poca, as we said, perhaps this could be their quarter. Chapmanville and the Dots have alternated quarters. First and third going to Chapmanville. The second was to Poca, and thus far here in the fourth, Poca outscoring Chapmanville 5-0. So we'll see if Chapmanville stays in this offense or if they try and get back into more of an attack mode now after the score by McNeely. With 5:13 to go, but as we said, Chapmanville very good at playing keep away as well. Scholl will bring it up the floor. He and Urbina were talking as they inbounded the ball on what to do on this possession as they get it to Urbina on the right wing. Urbina looks into the center, drives in, puts up a tough contested shot, no good. Mullins tries to save it, but there's Rittinger with the rebound. Here comes Poca. They've got numbers as Urbina late getting back, and a good foul there by Brody Dalton. That was actually a very heads-up foul by the freshman that time. He knew that he didn't have his big man down underneath the basket, as it was virtually 5-on-3, and Dalton took the foul, as that's team foul number 4. That's number 3 on Dalton. So Poca will now inbound it. Rittinger into the left corner for 3, and count it for Noah Rittinger. His third 3-pointer of the game and his 11th point. And Poca has outscored Chapmanville 8-0 now after a 9-0 run by Chapmanville in the third. This game has just swung back and forth, and it's back to a 1-possession game. 4:25 to go. Mullins on the right wing. Looking, finds Isaiah Smith, back over to Mullins as he tells Scholl to come over to the near side. Mullins over to Scholl, closing in on the midway point of the fourth quarter. Up top to Obina, back over to Scholl as the Poca fans trying to ignite their defense here. McNeely went for the steal but came up empty. Now out to Dalton as we hit the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Obina going to work now on Payne with 4 fouls. Spins into the middle, and Obina able to bank it in for his 20th point of the game. And the first points of the fourth quarter for the Chapmanville Tigers. 35-30, Chapmanville now leads it as they continue to keep Poca at arm's distance. The only lead of the game for Poca was at 3-2. Now a foul out front will go against Philip Mullins as he was hand-checking and fighting with McNeely. That'll be number 2 on Philip Mullins. That'll be team foul number 5 on Chapmanville as you get a look at here on our Video Productions instant replay. And there's a foul on Mullins. So 5 team fouls against Chapmanville, 4 against Poca as we fall under 3.5 minutes to play here in regulation. Rittinger, floater up, no good. Scholl tears down a tough rebound, and Chapmanville now in possession with a 5-point lead. Scholl crosses midcourt on the right side. Looking for a screen, takes it over to the left. Now out to Obina. Obina drives in on Payne, gets in, and that could be number 5 on Toby Payne. And if it is, he's out of here. And it appears it was, and Toby Payne is fouled out of this contest. Here you see it on our instant replay again. Once Obina saw he was one-on-one with Payne, he immediately went into attack mode and fouled out Toby Payne, the sophomore. And that'll bring Nate Vance back into the game, who has 3 fouls as Obina's first free throw up and good. And Obina, the only one to shoot free throws tonight for the Chapmanville Tigers. He is 4 of 7 from the line, make it 5 of 8. As the big man now puts in his 22nd point of the game, and Chapmanville's lead back up to 7 at 37-30. We hit 3 minutes to play here at Poca High School. Dots in desperate need of a basket on this trip as Tony, pounded by Isaiah Smith, over to Rittinger. Rittinger back out towards midcourt. Chapmanville continuing on the pressure. McNeely, tough 3, and he gets it to go off the screen. It was great defense by Philip Mullins, but just a better shot by Isaac McNeely. His 5th 3 of the game keeps Poca alive with 2:37 to play. 37-33 Tigers as Scholl over to the right. Gets it into the corner for Mullins. Mullins back up top for Dalton. Now to Obina at midcourt. Let's see if Chapmanville lets the hold here. Obina has it knocked away by Ethan Payne. And here come the Dots. A chance to cut it to 1 possession. Rittinger up top. Dishes off underneath. All alone is Vance, and he'll lay it in. And the lead back down to 2 at 37-35. Now this crowd feeling it as they have the Tigers back within reach at 37-35. We've got 2 minutes to play here in regulation. Obina drives in right side, gets by Ethan Payne and lays it in as he crashes to the ground. The Marshall University committee, with his 24th point on the night, gives Chapmanville back a 4-point lead with 1:54 to go. We'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Poca with the ball, trailing Chapmanville 39-35 after the drive by Obinanachile Killen. for his 24th point. Chris Kidd here with you with Butch Mounts, our engineer here tonight. 1:45 to go. Poca trying to cut this back to a one-possession game. Tony gets it over to Rittinger on the left wing, guarded by Scholl. Rittinger gets into the paint, drives by, tries to get it on baseline, had it knocked away, and Ethan Payne has it stolen from him. Up ahead to Scholl. Scholl, pull-up jumper, count it for Andrew Scholl, and that's a huge basket there as Scholl with 9 points for the game, and the lead is back to 6. 1:20 to go. McNeely gets over. Jackson Tony fell down, gets back to his feet as they find Rittinger. Rittinger into the middle. Poca perhaps looking for a three on this trip, and now Mullins falls down after probably landing in the puddle that was left a moment ago by Tony, and there's a great drive and finish by Nate Vance as Obina looks like maybe he got poked in the eye as he's trying to clear the cobwebs out, and a good finish by Nate Vance is a full timeout for Poca. We'll step aside as well back after this as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up.
Welcome back, everybody, to Poca High School. Chris Kidd here with you as Chapmanville, #1 in the state in AA, leading #3 in the state in AA. Poca, 41-37 with 1:03 to go. Now the question is, 5 team fouls on both sides. How long does Poca wait to foul here on this possession, or do they go for the steal outright? Again, they were able to create a turnover a moment ago against the Tigers, but again, it's a very veteran Chapmanville club in the ball handling category, and they get it into Mullins, now to Dalton. They forced it out of the senior's hands, but they quickly find another senior in Scholl. He almost went over and back, but gets it to Mullins, and he'll draw the foul on Jackson Tony, as that'll be #1 on him. Team foul #6. And again, tough to figure out who to foul here if you're Poca. Again, obviously the freshman Smith and Dalton would be your first choice if you're Poca, because Scholl, Obina, and Mullins all good free throw shooters as they get it into Mullins. But Obina the only one to shoot free throws tonight, and they foul Philip Mullins. So Mullins, who has made a living at the free throw line against Logan the other night, again, just played with so much fight in that contest right till the very end for Chapmanville. And he's the one that went to the line his sophomore year and made clutch free throws down the stretch to help win the state championship for the first time for the Tigers, and he sinks the first. Cold-blooded free throw by Philip Mullins. He's got 4 points for the game now. Was All-State honorable mention last year, as was Andrew Scholl. Now looking to bring this back to a 6-point lead, and Mullins does. So now Poca has to work in a hurry here, trailing it by 6 with 47 seconds to go. They get it over to McNeely. He's double teamed. Now to Ethan Payne. Back over to McNeely. Off balance three. In and out. No good. Rebounded underneath. Taken by Dalton. He finds Scholl. Scholl looks up ahead. Gets it ahead to Mullins. Mullins dumps it off underneath. Smith blocked from behind by Tony. But Brody Dalton there for the rebound. His pass intercepted. But out of bounds was Poca. And it will stay with Chapmanville with 28.3 seconds to go. And a timeout by Brad Napper will keep things here with the Tigers leading at 43-37. And what a game this has been here tonight. Again, if you're just joining us, Chapmanville jumped all over Poca, 17-3 in the first couple of moments of this game. It looked like Chapmanville might run Poca out of the gymnasium, but Poca settled in after that and hit 4 3-pointers in the second quarter, 6 3-pointers in all in the first half. They've hit 9 for the game now, have the Dots, in order to close this gap. down to 2 on several occasions. They got it down to 2 at halftime before Chapmanville outscored Poca 9-0 in the third quarter to take an 11-point lead into the fourth. But now Poca has once again stormed back, got the lead down to single digits again at 33-30. But the heart of this Chapmanville State champion club has just not allowed Poca to get the lead back. Again, the only lead this evening for the Dots was at 3-2 off of a McNeely 3, but after that, Chapmanville has led the entire contest and now have 28.3 seconds to go to come up with a statement win after they lost that tough game the other night to the Logan Wildcats. They get it into Scholl, and Scholl, one of the better free throw shooters on the team and in the state, will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And Scholl, someone who was widely praised after that loss to Logan. Again, he put the loss on his shoulders, albeit most people didn't feel that way for Andrew, and he hits the first to get himself to 10 points for the game, but he was showing the leadership that he possesses. Again, a state champion at Huntington High School in AAA his freshman year, and then winning a state championship last year with Chapmanville as the second one offline. Now Poca with a chance here is Rittinger, rejected again by Obina, as the 6'9 senior has put on a show here this evening in this Poca gymnasium. 24 points, double digits in rebounds, possibility now for double digits in block shots in this game. And you saw it on his face in pregame warm-ups as you see the block here. And right there, he is just so good at almost faking and lulling his opponents to sleep, thinking that he's going to not come in and try and block that shot, and he's able to recover so fast and get the block as Mullins misses the front end of the 1-and-1, down to 12 seconds. McNeely fadeaway 3 at the bench and able to hit as he keeps Poca alive with a pulse for the moment being, as he hits his 6th three-pointer of the game and now has 20 points for the contest to close it to 44-40, but it could be a little too late here for the Dots as you see McNeely getting off that screen, and wow, such a tough shot. Again, not in rhythm, falling away from himself as well as he turned back away from his momentum and was still able to get that to fall. Again, that's just tremendous balance by Isaac McNeely. And again, that kid just a sophomore, folks, as he's got a lot of talent already and already looks to grow even more. And these are two teams that are only meeting once here in the regular season. There is a possibility these two could have to meet to go to the state tournament. That's going to be the tough thing about all this. You've got Logan, Chapmanville, and Poca all right here in the same region. Only 2 of them get to go, and that's on top of Mingo Central being on the other side. They've been very competitive. Lincoln County's been very competitive. Man is at 6-1 on the other end. Scott is a very talented team as well. And we've got several on Poca's side that are just as talented too. So it's going to be a hard road for both these teams to get to the state tournament. But boy, oh boy, is it going to be difficult if these two teams have to meet up to go to states later on this year, or if Poca ends up meeting up with Logan, depending on how things shake out on the other side of the section. But man, oh man, are we going to be in for a dogfight in one of the regional finals later on this year, as Killen will go to the line here after the foul. As it'll be 2 shots now for the senior, as missing on the first attempt. He'll get another. As they whistled the foul that time on Ethan Payne. That's number 3 on him. And another timeout called here. It looks like Chapmanville wanting to make sure they've got their defense set after this free throw, one way or the other. Again, 7.6 seconds left. A free throw made here by Obina, in essence, would end the game unless Chapmanville committed a weird foul on the other end. But this Polka Dot team that a lot of people were looking at as having maybe the best opportunity before Logan beat Chapmanville in order to knock them off on their home floor in what has been one of the most difficult gymnasiums in the state to play in. And you can see how Chapmanville bounced back after that loss. And again, the community of Chapmanville traveled very well up here this evening. There's a student section as well for Chapmanville showing out here tonight, as well as Poca's cheering section. This has been one of the better atmospheres we've had this year on Video Productions, as Obina with a second free throw. He gets this one to go. He's got 25 points for the game now. as Poca going to need a bucket fast. They get it into McNeely with 6 seconds. He crosses midcourt, puts up a quick three, short, long rebound out to Scholl, and the Chapmanville Tigers get their mojo back here tonight as they win a very, very competitive and tight contest with the Polka Dots. 45-40 to move to 10-2 on the year and end Poca's 8-game winning streak, dropping the Polka Dots to 9-2 on the season. Could we see this again in a little over a month and a half? Still yet to be seen, but for tonight, it was Obina and Achille killing on both sides of the floor as he goes over to hug his former and now future teammate Devin Collins, who's at Marshall University, coming down to watch tonight's game, as he even knows how big this was for his former ball club, is the Marshall University Thunder and Herd player Devin Collins, as they win it tonight over the Polka Dots 45-40. We'll step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll recap tonight's action here from Poca High School as you are watching high school basketball presented by Video Productions.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Little General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
45-40, Chapmanville defeats the Polka Dots here tonight in this matchup of number 1 and number 3 teams in Class AA. Chris Kidd here with you, Butch Mounts, our engineer, as Chapmanville led virtually the entire game. The only time they trailed was at 3-2, but Poca kept fighting back all evening long. Again, trailed by as much as 14 in the first quarter, got as close as 2 at halftime and in the third quarter, before Chapmanville pulled away again, and then Poca was able to close it back down to 3, but the Tigers just proving to be too much in the clutch here this evening, despite the heroics of Isaac McNeely and Noah Rittinger, as Chapmanville able to win it 45-40 at the end. And tonight, you look at the scoring rundown on both sides. We'll start with Poca. They were led by Isaac McNeely with 20 points, Noah Rittinger with 11 points. Then you had Nate Vance with 6 points, and Jackson Toney with 3 points to round out the scoring. As you look at the three-point shooting by Poca here tonight, they hit 10 three-pointers, so 30 of their 40 points came from the outside here tonight. And I feel like if you'd told Alan Osborne that they would have hit 10 threes here tonight, he would have probably felt like his team might have been able to pull off this win. But Chapmanville just hanging tough despite the barrage that Poca threw at them, especially in that second quarter. As Chapmanville hit 4 three-pointers of their own, but they got a lot of their work done on the interior here this evening. As leading all scorers tonight was Obina and Achille Killam with 25 points. Then you had Andrew Scholl with 10 points, followed by Philip Mullins with 5 points, Isaiah Smith with 3 points, and Brody Dalton rounding out the scoring with 2 points overall for the Tigers. In Chapmanville, now they get a little bit of a rest. Again, they're going to be off for about a week before they travel to Bristol, Virginia next Saturday to take on FCA Prep in the FCA Showcase down in Bristol, Virginia. So again, it'll be about 7-8 days before they get back into action, while Poca will host Buffalo on Tuesday night. Well, it's time now for our Farmer, Klein, and Campbell Player of the Game. And tonight, again, and while it was tough with Isaac McNeely's heroics with 20 points, we're going to go with Chapmanville's Obina Anachile Killen, as he was just superb this evening here as you take a look at it on our instant replays. There's the steal in the first half, the shovel by Mullins, and the one-handed thunder slam by Obina as he was fired up tonight with the Poca cheering section right there on him. And here you see the block here in the first half, coming over and swatting away Nate Vance's attempt at the rim, as he got Vance a few times tonight coming to the basket. And Obina probably close to a triple-double, going back and having to look at some of his blocks here this evening. And here you get another look here in the second half of Obina finishing, or excuse me, back in the first half, able to finish on the inside as he got it down on the low block, able to get into the center and able to put up that soft touch that's going to have him in a Thundering Herd uniform next year. And looking to improve that outside ability as well, as he showed all of that off here tonight from the outside, the inside, the free throw line, and more. And Obina Anachile Killen, our Farmer, Klein, and Campbell Player of the Game. Well, again, this was an anticipated matchup and a fun matchup here this evening, a back-and-forth affair. Again, seemed like each quarter swung a different way. And like we said, this could be a matchup we see to see who goes to the state tournament come March, or it could be Logan and Poca. Again, I feel like you're going to see one of those two matchups one way or the other. Again, there's a lot of teams still left with a conversation to be had about that. But again, those three teams have really shown themselves to be part of the cream of the crop here in Class AA this season, and it'll be interesting to see how things unfold as we head down the stretch, as we are now heading towards the second half of this regular season, and a lot of teams flexing their muscles right now in this state, trying to say they should be number one. Well, Chapmanville, despite the loss to Logan to end their state streak the other night, showed tonight that they could still be at the top of the heap once things come to a close this season. But again, a tight affair here this evening with the Chapmanville Tigers winning it over the Poca Dots 45-40. So for Butch Mounds, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long this evening from Poca High School, as you have been watching high school basketball action presented by Video Production.